very cost effective as long as the Terran player proceeds to go Marine and Marauder build. He can also use the feedback to get rid of the Ravens. Still moving on a 5 barracks push right now, and armor upgrade from both Terran and Protoss players. With the income rate, let's see, because Protoss just got this natural gold expansion, he is up by over 1,000 at this point, giving the Terran player a lower boost than this. Terran player really needs to take the destructible rocks out and take the gold, because as a Terran player, if he were to get tanks at this point, he could hold off this little gap right here on both sides of where the Zelnaga watchtowers are, allowing the Terran player just to camp some tanks right there and tanks right here. It looks like the Terran player is going to move forward and take out the Colossus, backing up his air units just to let the Marine Marauders move in, losing all of those Colossus. A big hit from the Terran player. Looks like he is done with his Storm and has enough energy, but the Terran's Stim and Micro is too much for the Terran player, or Protoss player, losing that natural gold, putting it back up just after it lost. He loses it. Protoss player now knows that the expansion, the second natural expansion, right here in this cove, is found by the Protoss player. Protoss player looks like he's just going to camp out and wait for his natural gold to get back up. Looks like the Protoss player is still ahead in income. Less harvesters on the red side, on Terran side, but he does indeed have the call down mules, which allows him to get more mineral intake. Let's look at the resource tab. About 500. Calling down about 6 mules. 6 mules is a lot of mules. That is a lot of money. See, the income right now is 2,000, roughly 2,200 to 2,600, compared to the Protoss's 1,400 even. Let's look at the unit count. Unit count looks like the Storms in a big battle. Colossus are going to take out some of those Marine Marauders, leaving some behind just so he can drag back. And of course, a Storm should go down any second now, but it looks like he's going to back up and try to get a surround on the Terran player before moving down this cove. Moving the Templars. Templars are extremely slow. He should always keep those near the middle of his group, allowing the Terran player not to snipe out the supposed High Templars, giving him no chance of Storm. Very odd play by the Terran player. He is now getting a ghost in the units. Actually, he already does have a ghost. Where's that little ghost? Where is that bugger? So hidden. Terran ghoster. There he is. There's that little guy. Terran ghosts are so hard to see. And there comes another battle. Looks like the Terran player is going to try to sneak back here and do his little barracks, but that's not a good play, seeing how the Storms limit his sight. Going to move forward with the inputs defense drones down, stopping the Stalkers from attacking the Vikings, keeping them alive. Looks like most of these Vikings got 1 or 2 kills, seeing that Colossus is just about to fall down. If he could snipe in, throw down another point defense drone, he could snipe that Colossus out of the game. I'm sorry, I had to cough. See, it looks like the Protoss player, good play by Terran player, leaving a supply depot up there, giving him more sight, especially here as well, seeing if he comes down the ramp. Comes up, let's see, sentries doing their job, keeping up the shield. Terran player looks like he's going to try to kite them onto the ramp, but he is indeed going to lose that natural expansion. Seems that the gold expansion by the Protoss player is still there. And now a whopping 7 medevacs for that MM ball. It's very dangerous with that ghost, losing all of their shields. No, they still have their shields. It doesn't look like he's had a chance to really EMP. Good play by the Protoss player, getting the upgrade for the additional energy from the warp gates from the High Templar archives, allowing him to warp in High Templars and get the instant storm that he needs for backup, just in case. Let's look at the income tab. At this point, the Protoss is now building another expansion, giving him more income at this time, because the Terran player did indeed lose this third expansion, or I mean second. My bad. Second expansion. Harvester count: 59 Terran, 65 Protoss, 66 Protoss now. Doesn't look like the Terran player is willing to change his strategy. Looks like he's going all out on this Marine and Marauder ball with the medevacs. Looks like the Vikings were sniped out during the last battle, but it seems that the Protoss player is not going as many No, he just has one robotics facility. I'd get two if I were him, but he does have the High Templars to make up for it. Looks like he's got an Archon in the game. Going to move forward. This is a big battle. The Colossus are doing a lot of damage, but he has not Stormed, which, oh, he got EMP'd. That is not good. Ooh, and warping in more High Templars with the advantage with that extra energy when they spawn, and more Zealots being spawned onto the field. Looks like the Terran is still pushing through, though, with those with that many medevacs. He's not being able to feed back those medevacs. Looks like he's going to push back to his natural gold expansion. He needs to warp in more units, but I do believe, and there they are. Two more High Templars, two Storm, and a bunch of Zealots. He needs to get some Stalkers in there as well, maybe a Sentry. And storm right onto the units of Red. See the health points. Looks like Red's attack on that gold, just 130 health. Failed, but a good job by the Protoss player, not allowing the Terran player to take out that expansion. Gonna load up his medevacs and possibly take the high ground, but with that Colossus, the Colossus does have sight. Ooh, and he's gonna go in for a snipe. Not good for the Protoss player. Looks like he's gonna lose this. Ooh, good micro from the Terran player, dropping his units as he moves his medevacs. This is a very hard micro tactic. Looks like these Marines and Marauders are going to take out everything they can before faulting away. Looks like the Protoss player is now going to be like, hey, you know what? You took my gold. I'm going to take your second expansion. See how this goes. The Terran player has a lot of MM, though. See if he can take that out. Successfully stopping the Terran player from mining from that expansion. That is enough damage as it is. Going to back down. Looks like the Terran player is going to come back and repair that command center, while the Terran player moves to a new expansion. There's no sight on that from Genius, the Protoss player. He needs to get more observers scattered around the map, giving him more sight. Going to move a whopping 2 pages full of SCVs from his main and his natural. In the Uncome tab, Protoss still has the advantage due to this third expansion he built that gave him that upper hand in the beginning of the game, but now EMP'd on his Archon and his Stalkers and his Zealots, everything he had. It looks like he's going to do a stim pack and runaway moving tactic, a very efficient tactic by the Terran player. Still no tanks from the Terran player, very odd gameplay, but as you all know, Marine Marauder is the new thing. Production tab, not much going on for the production tab. 1 SCV being built, 2 Marauders, 3 Vikings, and 1 probe by the Protoss player. Unit count, harvester count right now, 61 SCVs and 71 probes. Not much of a big difference from armies. It looks like the Protoss player does indeed have the army advantage with those Archons and Colossus. Looks like he's going to possibly take out this expansion, maybe get rid of the SCVs. Taking out the refinery, very odd choice too. And bam, boom goes the dynamite. 4, 3, 2, 1. There goes the command center, pulling back, trying to starve the Terran player, forcing him to expand more and making the Protoss player move around and take out his expansions. Hopefully, the Protoss player realizes this expansion in the far left corner, and I think he might go and scout there. I still don't know if he sees it. No, he does not. Terran player still does not realize that this expansion is here, but I'm sure he knows. Looks like this is a timing push by the Protoss player. I do not think, and the EMP is laid down, forcing the Protoss player, and missed a fantastic job of making those High Templars. Oh, and EMP the High Templars. Ooh, last call. I called that one a little too late. I thought the Protoss player was going to be able to storm or throw down a storm of pathing so that when the Terran player were to move back, he would have ran into it. But it's not looked good. Oh, and the Terran player is going to have to be forced to fall back, possibly getting the Vikings to snipe out the Colossus, but does not look good. He still has 2 full storms he's ready to use on the Terran player. Production tab, still not very many units. Protoss ground armor level 2, and not many units being built by the Terran player. Looks like those storms are going down, taking out most of his units. Archons don't really seem to mind storms. Okay, yeah. Storms, man, they're pretty sweet. I grew up with them. But let's see what's going to happen here. It does not look good for the Terran player. I think the Terran player might have to call it. Literally having a lack of income and unit production at this point. not having enough barracks or switch of tech, no tanks, not ghosts, not in the beginning, didn't help that the Terran player actually allowed the Protoss player to get Colossus. And Genius is actually a very good Protoss player. I've never seen such a good Protoss player. I mean, I've seen Huck. Huck's a pretty good Terran player. I mean, Protoss player. But I really like the gameplay from this Korean player because he did incorporate the Archons into his build, as well as the Stormers and Colossus at the same time. The gas issue with Protoss is you need to choose between one or the other, or not as many as one. So you need to choose more of one unit. But it seems like he really balanced out the Colossus and High Templar mixture and composition into the game. But as you can see, Maka, I don't know how you say his name, has called GG, and the Protoss is the winner of this game. Fair play from both players. I do think indeed that the Terran player could have done a lot better job of getting some tanks or more Vikings to spot down those Colossus, but the major problem with the Terran player was not enough upgrades. 1 in 1, where the Protoss has 1 armor and 3 damage. So this has yet again been another replay by yours truly, NYK StarCraft. Hope to see you guys next time.